Welcome back, Challenge Seekers. This is Twisted Metal Black doing the non-story modes that also lets you get to play as your favorite characters from Twisted Metal Black. We played as Mr. Grimm during the last series. Now let's go into Outlaw, one of the more, let's say, sympathetic characters in this game, if you can believe that.
Agent Stone. Oh, he's Blake Stone, totally. You see, you don't. I'm not entirely sure if you're familiar with the Blake Stone series, but it was a Doom clone back in the early '90s that blatantly ripped off classic Doom.
2 years I'd been locked away. Not a day went by I didn't pray to God. But I knew even He wouldn't forgive me for what I'd done.
I wonder what's in the news today. Doop, doop, doop.
See, God only has time for those who deserve His mercy.
And why don't you, Agent Stone?
I just didn't qualify.
Wouldn't you like to know? I guess you'll just have to play the game and find out.
But it's a car combat game on the PS1, PS2. I'm not gonna enjoy that.
Without knowing every dirtbag in Midtown. Seems he wanted me in his contest. He said if I won, he'd ease my pain. My God, he knew. How could he have known? Calypso said if I won the game, I'd get a chance to undo the big mistake that was eating at my soul.
So let me guess, Agent Stone killed the kid.
Yep.
That's a big thing to offer a man without a hope in hell.
I mean, the suggestion is pretty strong, but yes, that is the premise of Outlaw's story. He's trying to go back in time in order to undo a fatal shooting incident that basically put him in prison for the rest of his life. Well, actually,
Right,
I think.
so, we're an ambulance, huh?
We're a cruiser. This is a cruiser. But yes, now that we are in challenge mode, it's 1v1.
You threw the gas can behind you.
And let's see how well Outlaw does in our series here. Well, we get to play some very briefly. He's rather fast.
Okay, so already I can see why endurance mode is a bit more difficult than a normal one. It's because the map doesn't allow you to try and have your competitors whittle each other down. They do it very poorly normally, but they do it. So
every little bit counts. In a game where you can also pick up health packs and have your progress completely undone.
And you're dead.
Well, I mean, we wanted to know more about you, Outlaw, but you died. So, yeah, that's the end of Outlaw's story. I mean, you can play the game in order to experience the other cutscenes and see if he actually does get his chance for redemption. And now for the lengthier portion of this episode, we're going to spend the rest of the challenge mode run playing as Spectre, driven by Bloody Mary.
Intermittent explosive disorder, delusional disorder, jealous, physical and chemical restraint, no furnishings at all. She's not allowed to have chairs?
She's not allowed to have shoestrings, or belts, or flowers, or glass, or vases. Anything that could be thrown, really, or used as a stabbing weapon.
So they all end up in the same solitary cell, just at different times?
No, I mean, basically at the game state...
First time I knew I was different, I was just a little girl.
So...
There was this boy I really liked.
The game assumes that every story starts fresh.
Tell him. He pushed me down in the mud. He called me ugly. I've been alone ever since, always waiting and hoping for that certain someone to come my way.
Aww.
I remember right after college, all my friends with their perfect boyfriends and their society weddings. Every time one of those bitches got hitched, I'd freak. Eventually they
honestly, Bloody Mary's probably got one of the more graphic introductions for, you know, let's say a 11-year-old boy who stumbled onto an M-rated game on his brand new PS2 machine.
Was Calypso.
And that was me.
He said if I won his game, I'd never have to be alone again. He said he knew where I could find my true love. How could I refuse an offer like that?
So, does she end up marrying
No one
Warhawk?
as pretty as me.
No, she kills Warhawk.
Oh.
They all kill Warhawk, because Warhawk can go screw himself.
So, who among the cast would actually be a Bloody Mary's bride? Given the fact that she's driving a sports sedan, I assume that she would actually end up marrying a preacher who's driving Brimstone. But
Bloody Mary would end up marrying Mr. Kane. I'm not talking about Kane Jr. because he's just a boy. I'm talking about the dead father sitting in the cab that's operated by remote control in his brain.
so is Sweet Tooth just the slowest character? Because everyone else seems really fucking zippy.
Oh, well, I mean, Spectre is zippy, second only to Mr. Grimm. She also is a little, you know, if you take the armor speed slider and just take it a little way from the extreme, she's got a little more armor, she's a little slower, but she is rather fragile. After all, she couldn't harm a fly.
Well, yeah, because flies aren't actually going to snub her on the altar.
So I ended up having a pretty good time playing in the downtown level because, again, classic Twisted Metal tropes, as we mentioned throughout the game. Here you can observe lots of alleyways and lots of short blocks, so you can navigate through the map easily, and you also have lots of turns and options in order to gain some barriers between yourself and the enemy gunfire.
Okay.
And which is also one of the reasons why we take a rather lengthy amount of time in this map, because I spend a lot of the time running around. Because yeah, Spectre is so fucking fragile, and this is you know, one life challenge. So I'm gonna try to stay alive as long as I can.
Honestly, whenever you do one of those bigger jumps, I keep wishing that we were actually doing Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2.
What, and we would just have moon gravity on and we fly off into the distance?
Dude, moon gravity in Pro Skater 2 is fucking amazing.
Yeah, it is. What do you mean? What do you mean you can't do two 900 double McTwists in one move?
Oh, dude, just put me on hanger and I'll do it in like 2 minutes.
I can't believe I scored the machine gun upgrade instead of getting the health pack.
Bullseye bonus.
Ricochet.
Which does what?
It inflicts a little more damage, I'm pretty sure.
Ah, okay.
Bullseye. Because, you know, in a game of darts, the bullseye gets you... No. That's, in a game of darts, all you have to do is just get the bullseye. Although I think if you get the bullseye with all three of your shots in one round, you win the game. I think that's why the bullseye matters.
Otherwise, though, the bullseye is actually worth, what is it, 300 points?
Well, I mean, it depends on the type of game you're playing. If you're playing, you know, so you designate so many points and you earn those points as you get them, or like me and my buddy do, you just try to hit each of the markers on the board at least once, including the bullseye, with also the stipulation that if you send all three of your darts into the bullseye in one round, you automatically win the game.
And custom rules for darts is actually really fun to tinker with.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think dartboard elimination is probably one of the favorite mutators for darts in general.
Oh, because now I'm low on health, so that's why I start fucking running away like I am just wasting my own time. Because, I mean,
well,
of course...
you've got 2% of your health left, and you're jumping over the shock pad, so...
Yeah. Oh, they weren't kidding when they used the word challenge to describe this mode. Like, if you're low on health, and you got lots of enemies to go, you should probably start over there, buddy.
Okay, so how do you get up to that power-up that's on top of the roofs up there?
You can find a ramp, and also I think this is the level where you could fly into the hospital building, unless I'm thinking of either the freeway or the freeway loop.
I'm pretty sure that's freeway, actually.
The downtown loop, yeah, one of those two. But there are ways up there, and
okay.
and of course they want you to go from platform to platform using other ramps and such. I do like Spectre
So,
Special.
can you unlock the other characters in these challenge runs?
That is a good question. I think you can only destroy the panels that allow you to access the unlockable characters in story mode. Because otherwise, I mean, you can reach those locations, but I don't think there'll be anything there.
Okay.
And I think they did that in the interest of gearing you towards, well, watching the cutscenes in order to, you know, really take in the full breadth of the brand new PS2 graphics that are now dated by 20 years.
The PS2 is more than 20 years old, dude.
Alright, this bitch is on a killing spree.
2 is not a spree, okay? If we go by Unreal Tournament rules, 5 is your first spree. Although in
okay.
Halo it's 3.
Alright. We're getting there. Who else wants to play with Mary? Mary, quite contrary. You're just a fat, ugly cow. Ha ha ha. Oh yeah, and by the way, everybody I've talked to and their mother says that Bloody Mary's appearance is in no way inconsistent with her idea of poor self-image, especially from being a young child. I mean, okay, if it was instilled from youth, that's different, which it's starting to look like it was, and that's why she developed psychopathy, but she's attractive. She looks good. When you say so, Mr. Grant.
I've never been, a fan of the bloodied wedding dress. I mean, it shows a lot of psychosis with that when you choose to go outside like that.
Well, that's the dress that she was picked up in. Just like Dollface is in the mess that she was picked up in. Just like No Face. Well, I mean, No Face is just like, what the fuck are you gonna do? The dude lost his eyeballs. It's rotting in a tray somewhere. But yeah, the premise of Bloody Mary is, as we had observed, that she is obsessive and unstably emotional. She murdered a good friend of hers at that friend's wedding. And then she put on the dress that her friend was wearing.
I thought her spree was throughout the college yearbook.
God damn it, I thought I got more than 3. Well, college yearbook, yeah. Going back and seeing, oh yeah, I met this person, and now I want them to die. And in the next part, we're going to finish Twisted Metal Black with even more death.
Be safe, everybody.